This guy is going to give the worst tips ever. I just can't imagine anything of value he's going to add.
Young men, Gen Z specifically, 60% of them under 30 are not even dating. By the way, 62% of them are not even wanting to date. Gen Z men. This is a high of 2019 when it was 51%. So even though they're getting older, the older they get, they're like, I'm not even interested in dating. Why not? Do you know what the average cost of a date is for Gen Z today when they go out? $205. Who's expected to pay for it? Of course, men. Millennials' average cost for dinner is $252. Gen Z is $205. The national average is $189. We need more Gen Z dating because we need more babies, especially with our birth rate dropping. I'm going to share with you, if you're watching this as a young man, same path, what can I do to succeed in a market? Because I'm looking for girls. I'm going to give you certain tips that helped me when I was 23.
Yeah, this guy is going to give the worst tips ever. I just can't imagine anything of value he's going to add.
Hopefully it'll help you out as well. Okay, crisis by the numbers. We already know 60% of young men are not dating. 62% are not even trying to date, up from 51% compared to just 34% for women. So women are like, no, I want to date. I want to go out there and meet people. Young men are like, no, I'm leaving the marketplace.
Yeah, but it's because women are insufferable. Young women have insufferable attitudes. It's not even just the body count, although that's one thing, but it's, when I do street interviews, it's like, okay, I'll ask, do you want to do the question of the day or whatever? And most people just politely say no. And the young women like snicker at you. It's like, damn, ninja. It's like, all right, just say no. Keep going.
I don't want to do this. Apps like Tinder are heavily skewed towards male users. 76% of Tinder users are men. So guess what? It's like going to a nightclub and it's not ladies' night. You're going to a nightclub and everybody there is a bunch of men at a nightclub. Your options are you want to go to a place where women are there. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Studies suggest roughly 80% of men are rated as below average in attractiveness, leading many to feel inadequate or ignored. You know what's the interesting thing?
Okay, you go to the women. Do you want to date a guy you're not attracted to? No. Same problem. Women will always share men. Are we taking away women's choice? No. Same problem. It's a circle of life.
Today I came back from speaking at the school, and there's all these kids in this classroom, and I go up on the board and I write these numbers down. I write 14 and I write 3. I said, can I ask you guys a question? Can anybody tell me what this 14-3 means? One girl's like, that's a date according to a European calendar. And they're going through all this other stuff. I said, let me tell you what this means. I walk into this classroom. There was 14 girls to 3 boys. And I sat there and I'm like, wait a minute. These are great ratios. One of the guys, that's a boy's my son. So I'm like, hey, son, you listen, you got a lot of good options here, right? These are the types of ratios you want. So now if you're watching and saying, how do I put myself in a position to have more options? So when they say 80% of it's attractiveness, all this other stuff, look at some of the most beautiful women in the world. Are they all married to attractive men? Not necessarily. So what did these men have that these girls dated and chose to go with them? There's a reason for that. We're going to talk about that. So now, biggest dating fears. Pervasive fear of being perceived as creepy or toxic. Oh my God, you're too much. This is too much. This is too pushy. So approach anxiety, a growing fear of being viewed as disrespectful.
Well, the problem is a lot of young guys have seen their male friends have real consequences for approaching in public. I mean, I'd still recommend to do it, to be honest. Polygamy is the best option, seeing as how women want masculine men and too many men refuse to become masculine. That's true. It's true. Polygamy, it's not something I don't want to say I'm pushing it, but I just can't deny that it logically makes sense. I saw these polygamy channels. They're like, bring her to the polygamy conference. I'm like, look, I'm not that deep with it. I just, I think logically it does make sense, even though I think it would be difficult for me personally to accept,
Intrusive or contributing to toxic masculinity has caused many young men to stop approaching women in real life, which, by the way, young men, if you're listening to this, you're creating this imagination. This doesn't exist. By the way, this has been around for a long time. You know what the hardest thing is today? There was a video the other day with Charlize Theron, an actress that's been in a lot of different movies, Devil's Advocate, a lot of different movies. This is supposed to be one of the most beautiful women in the world. I think she was also in that movie with Golfin, Legends of Bagger Vance with Matt Damon, if I'm not mistaken. Can you verify this? The girl's asking her, so how many men approach you? She says, you'd be amazed. Nobody. It's like, wait, what? You're this beautiful. No one's approaching me. Why not? I don't know.
Well, she's old now.
They're scared. Guys are scared. So you really think if 34% of women are out there that are off the market, but 61%, maybe men are just giving up and they're getting a little bit scared. Because the reality of it is women want the right ones want you to approach them, and a lot of.
But here's the issue is that even the top approach, like men always will look at things as an ROI. So the top approach artists, let's say they have like a 10% success rate, which would be pretty high, like 10% date rate. And then let's say they sleep with like 5 out of 100. That's so much time that you have to put in to get good at approaching women. And then they have to ask themselves, what do I get out of this? Maybe sex, but for how long? How good is the sex? Risk of STDs. You know, men just do the cost benefit analysis and they're like, okay, I know a few guys that have gotten completely screwed by hooking up with the wrong girl. It's just the constant problems that come with dating a woman.
Guys are getting out of the market. This is kind of like when 2008 happened. We had some 600,000 realtors in America in 2006, 2007. Overnight, 40% didn't renew their licenses. 240,000 left the real estate industry because it was so difficult. So it's like, oh my God, it's so hard to be in real estate. Yes, but if you're good, the market's going to come back to you and have an option because you have more homeowners that are looking for fewer realtors. So you can look at that as an edge. Now let's look at this because some of this is valid. Some young men are really going through it. As a matter of fact, what's so funny about this topic is this was the conversation we were having this last Saturday night when we're out with the family. It was about dating with my 14-year-old, 12-year-old, and my family was sitting there. We're going through it. Barriers to dating. Survey shows that the biggest barrier to Gen Z dating is not having money. 52% of survey agree. Watch this. Not enough time because of career education priorities. So I'm so busy. I'm just trying to get my career going. I'm going to school. I don't have the time to date. Great. Men agree. Women agree. Blue is men. Don't want to commit long-term. So they're afraid of long-term commitment. Okay. Bad dating experience in the past. You know who's had it? Every single one of us. Either you were the bad experience or the girl was the bad experience, but we've all been part of that experience. We can work on this. Not enough money for dating activities. We can also work on that, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So when we go lower and we're looking at the dating costs, it leads us to this, okay? Dating, marriage, skills, gap. Desire and attitude are not the problem. They want to build connections that explore a long-term partner. This is young men. Young adults need dating skills.
Yeah, the issue is a lot of things women require. Like women want you to be popular, and it's so much money in the cities to be a popular person. I would think more men want long-term relationships than women.
Experience social and emotional confidence, stretch, develop social skills, struggle to express interest in dating partner, struggle to communicate on a date. Less than 4 in 10, 37% said they trusted their judgment when it comes to choosing a dating partner. There's a book I read, which my assistant many, many years ago told me about. I said, listen, I just made a decision. I'm never getting married. I enjoy my own company. She says, yeah, whatever. I said, no, I'm telling you, I'll go to movies by myself. I'll go to dinner by myself. I enjoy my own company. She says, before you decide to be single the rest of your life, this morning I was listening to this Christian radio channel, and this guy was talking about a book called 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged. So she says, you should go buy it. So I'll buy the book. It sits on my desk. I do nothing with it. I'm thinking, I don't have time to go through a book. I open it up. It's literally a question and an answer. You write the answer. It's blank. So I went and started answering all the questions. Some of the questions were not important. I think 54 of them were important to me. By the time it was done, I was like, all this time I thought I knew what I was looking for a woman. I was looking for this. That's crazy. And then I wrote out exactly what I want her to look like physically, literally, height, personality, temperament, because I wanted to see how she was going to be with my kids. My personality is here. I can't date a girl like this. When I did, we almost killed each other. It was like World War III. So I had to kind of find a way for temperament, right? I'm thinking family, kids, long term. You know what I told her? I said, I'm not here to hook up with you. I said, I'm looking for a wife. I took her to Borders. I bought the book for her, 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged. I said, if this freaks you out, I'm super comfortable with that. If you're just thinking I want to go out and have fun, that's not this guy. There's plenty of guys out there. No, this is my standards. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is what I'm going to do with my life. If you value that, let's go. If not, I totally get it. If your approach isn't that way and the girl's looking at you saying, why is this guy so insecure about his position and his situation, where he's at, this is where I'm at, this is what I want to do in my life. And remember, that wasn't the case with me in 2002 when I was 24 years old, 23 years old. I was, oh my God, I got to get this. But I had to shift my mindset because I had to increase my what? What was the confidence here? Somewhere it says confidence. I had to increase this. So when it says 37% questioning their judgment, why? Because you're second guessing yourself. You don't believe in what you're doing now. Decision making with the business is the same exact way. Raising your kids is the same exact way. Like, you know what? I don't know if I'm right 100%, but this is what we're going to be doing.
I actually think this is why successful men struggle in love, because they go at it from like a business transaction and women are based on feelings.
At least I'm leading to people I'm working with. So stay with me here. Remember I told you, which is like, boys are not approaching me. Okay. So guys don't talk to her. Is it on her that guys are not talking to her? Is she too, masculine? And guys don't want masculine girls. So maybe it's unattractive that you're too masculine. So some of the ladies watching this, I'm a girl boss. I'm a this, I'm a that. The other day I was watching a podcast with Joe Button.
I learned a lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, wow, Eve, here we are at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die. And all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is it?
No, that's not funny.
I was just waiting for more.
That's hilarious.
So that was kind of his point.
She says, I don't get it. I didn't think that was a big deal. Joe says, the guy just made his point because no one can make you happy. So, but those are not the girls to pursue because you're never going to make them happy. You'll be miserable if you're pursuing those girls. So if you're watching this, you're like, hey, I'm that girl. Well, good luck to you. I don't know what kind of a guy you're going to find, but you're going to make us happy because we don't want to date a masculine girl. So maybe she's the problem. Maybe it's on the guys that are scared saying, well, she's too pretty. She would never be interested in me. Maybe she would be. Maybe you ought to take the risk. Maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it's 5%. Is it worth taking the risk? Sure. What's the worst thing she's going to say? Not interested. Okay, great. And you move on, right? And then maybe it's, sex is too available. So it's kind of like, well, I don't know about that. I'm just going to go swipe right. And, a couple of our guys, when we're on the road and we're doing interviews, one of our guys, I won't say his name, we're in LA and it's like, yeah, I'm going to see what the LA market's like. I've been married for 16, 17 years. I've been in the same relationship since December 29th of 07. So I'm going to swipe right to see what the LA market looks like. I don't know if you remember this or not. I wasn't. It's actually disappointed. The next I'm like, that's it? Yes, that's it. So you swiped right and you went and yeah. So it's become so transactional. Why would I flirt with her? I already got what I wanted. So now you may say, Pat, that's not me. I want something serious, fair. Let's talk about that. So what is the purpose of dating somebody? What is the purpose of dating the opposite sex? Is it a fling? Like, I just want to go out there and have fun. Great. So your outcome is different. Go swipe right. If your outcome is this, go learn how to DM. Go improve your DM game. You don't know the emoji game. Maybe you need to get a little bit better in the texting part, right? Because we used to make phone calls. Now people are texting. But if this is the world you're solving for, it's a transactional world today. Maybe you want to have kids. I want to have kids. I don't really care who the wife is. I just want to have kids. Maybe you're lonely and you want some attention. Friday night, you're sick and tired of going to the clubs. You would rather go out with somebody, have a companion conversation. Your day ends. You come to your apartment. You're sitting there watching ESPN Sports Center. And honestly, your girlfriend's become one of these guys on ESPN that you watch every night, or you watch a movie or Netflix or documentary. I just want to talk to somebody. I want to have somebody.
It isn't a skill issue, brother. It's a motivation issue. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Helped me when I was 23. Bruh, I'm already checked out. I think he doesn't really understand how the dating market is now. Came for the comments, was not disappointment. PBD should take a read through. No words on the dangers of divorce. Like, this video is delusional. Divorce will destroy your life. And this guy just ignores it. Totally unacceptable. A 4 out of 10 woman has more dating options than Chris Hemsworth could fathom. Let that sink in. There's a reason I would never take dating advice from married people. They dated in a world that no longer exists and where the rules no longer apply. Us men don't care anymore. Yeah, no, and that's so true because do you know what? You never, like, when I do street interviews, you start to realize how good looking the men around you are. Because you do street interviews and you see how like normal people look. And it's like, I'll forget that being in a city, there's so many attractive people around me, like all the time. It's almost a bubble, and just working in social media, like most people are attractive to some degree. PBD understands the current business climate because he is in the game and he's out of touch with the current dating market because he hasn't participated in it for 2 decades. Marriage is an insurance policy on a woman's rapidly depreciating market value. Does anyone else feel like his advice is not applicable to how we actually got here? It's a good video, but it doesn't apply very well. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.